Oh, see if anybody comes popping along. Looks like one of those days where maybe nobody's gonna pop on. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. I gotta put that on my one mask. Keep forgetting about doing that. Right back. Nobody there. How can there always be nobody fucking there? Oops. Oh shit, I forgot something. Nobody there. Oh well. Thought somebody would have popped in. Not even a random person, eh? I feel like fucking. I don't know what I feel like. But there's nobody there. Just kind of hoping to say hello to Bucky. Thinking about ordering that pizza. I should get a poutine too. Nobody around, hey? Fuck. Well, 3 in the afternoon. What was it? 3:30. I'm gonna take a look on YouTube because I want to see going live if I'm even there. It's like, what if it was like nobody fucking ever popped in? Let me look here. Live filter. Lost hour. Fuck, I'm not even here for being live. And they only have a couple that are live. Excuse me. Oh shit! I think I ended that. Click live. Am I even there? No. It's just all this like Islam, the fucking language that are live. It doesn't show anybody even English. Let me take a look back here. Oh, there's Bucky. Sorry, Bucky. I was looking through the live list. Hang on here. Yeah, I was wondering. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, fuck. I don't know if you seen the one message I just left you about a half hour ago. Maybe not even that. I was watching the Halloween art team. Yeah, you and Jeremy did really good in that one. That was a pretty good one. Um, the my when we do the one in the spring or summer, my friend's gonna do the Jesse thing again. So having Jesse send you guys on another one. So I hope you're doing good. Hey, you know what I ate the other day? I'll show you the wrapper. It's right here. Wonder Bar. Oh, a little piece of it. I ate that there yesterday. And here's one of the little mini ones. Here's one of the little mini ones from Halloween. I didn't have any kids. None. Not one kid showed up, man. I kind of live out a bit. Yeah, I kind of live out in the bit. I don't live in like a little suburban community like my sister. My two sisters, they live on actually the same street. And they live in kind of like a suburban area, and they get like 300 kids, I think it is, every time. I don't. When was the last time I had a kid? 10 years ago, maybe. But I bet you one thing that I always say, if you don't buy the candy, then the kids will show up. But see, they got to come down this big, long, long laneway, right? And then what happens if there's nobody has any candy? That's what you wasted that long walk. Plus, I'm kind of out of town. Yeah, I bet you guys got a lot of trick or treaters. Did you and Jeremy get lots of candy? American candy. Yeah, I hope you guys like that stuff I gave you. I know you did. But just saying, when you guys send me little treats and stuff, I appreciate it too, man. Like those meat sticks and stuff. You can't go wrong with meat sticks, can you, buddy? That's why I asked you. By the way, I sent you a comment that one time, and I was like, I asked you something about hot meat sticks, and you said no, Jeremy, and I don't like them. The reason I asked you was because I was going out that day to get some meat sticks for you guys to put in the gift box, and you said you didn't like the hot ones, so I grabbed a regular one, and the only ones they had. This is ones they had. They had regular. They had the honey one or whatever, garlic, honey garlic, hot and spicy. And they had the other one. I'm not. I know. I don't know if you guys would like it. Maybe I'll send it next time for you to try. It's venison. So I don't. That's you know what venison is, eh? It's like deer. I'll send you that next time. You can try that out. A venison meat stick, and it's made by like a company. It's not made by my friend. Yeah, I haven't tried that one, eh? I'll have to try one of the. I'll have to try that garlic one because I always, like I told you before in the comments, I get like a regular one for the dog, and then I'll get the hot one for me. But I never tried the garlic one. I never even got a garlic one for the dog. I was just gonna. What my plan was I was gonna get you and Jeremy a regular one, a garlic one, and a hot one. But then he told me you weren't too good on the hot ones, so took that away. And the venison one, I wasn't quite sure because I don't know. Have you ever tried deer? It's different. It's not bad. Venison's not bad. Trust me, it's different. But I'll send you one of those meat sticks. And the other thing, you made in the comments, I sent you a message today. You said in the comments before about your mom likes the coffee crisp. So I'll send your mom like one of those things that'll, when I put in the box, I'll put a couple in, but when I put in the box, make sure your mom gets the coffee crisp because yeah, I really appreciate that one. You know, I appreciate everything they sent me, but that one box, I know your mom had a little hand behind it. You had that like police thing. It's in the other room, like the hooded pullover. Uh, the like police lives matter. I don't exactly know what the proper word is. And then you sent me all those pens. I haven't used those pens at all from the police department. Yeah, I haven't even touched them. I haven't even written with nothing with them. Yeah, I should. Actually, let me put this on so I can, because the computer is a little way away here. The monitor. I mean, let me read that. Well, I make spaghetti, right? Homemade spaghetti and homemade meatballs. I do a damn good job, and I put garlic in it. And my dog eats. I give her a chop. I give her a bowl full of spaghetti and sauce and meatballs. She don't throw up or have diarrhea or any symptoms, and she's like 10 years old. She's probably had 500 spaghetti meals in her life. One thing I know that you're not supposed to give your dogs is chocolate, which I don't. She don't get no chocolate. But she loves pizza and poutine and burgers and anything on the friggin' barbecue. Anything. Just like your dog, man. Same thing. Just friggin' if it's meat, give it to me. Yeah, really. I order pizza too much, man. I order a lot. Like I'll show you right here. I got them separated. Ugh. There's 10. That's a free small. Ugh. Hold on here. That's 6. Where did I put the other ones? I have another 10 behind here, but I'll show you another thing. You know those $3 scratch tickets, right? Well, I don't know if you're in the States. You know, you get these. I, my mom, right? My mom and dad are kind of like well off. Not bragging. I'm just telling you the truth. So it's really hard to get them stuff for Christmas. But my mom does like scratching those tickets, right? And I, from October till December, I collect those scratch tickets for her. Look how many I got for her, and I'm not done. I, it'll be double that by December. They're all $3 each. There's probably over $300 right there. Where's there's the art. There they are. Oh, let me reach. There they are. There's the other 10. So that's free pizza, free pizza, and 4 away from a free pizza. I'm gonna use those in December. And there's that big pile of tickets. I got a bunch of these gift cards for $100. I've got 4 of them. For my dad, I got a couple more for him. They're from like this place called Home Hardware. It's like where you buy wood, and my dad's a big builder. So see, let me read this here. Yeah, never heard of that one before. Well, I don't scratch tickets. I'm not into. I have no problem with people doing it. It's just not for me. I don't buy scratch tickets at all. I don't even buy a lotto ticket. But my mom, she likes those $3 scratch tickets, where you can win like $3 to anywhere from $3 to 50 grand. She's never won that much before. I get them for her every year. She basically wins about $500, $600. I think last year she won $800. But hard to buy for people that don't need fucking anything. Oh, does he? Yeah, my grandpa did. My grandfather did, and my mom, which is the daughter of my grandfather, she does all the time, like all the time, like big time, like every at least 5 times a week, I'd say, or more. Never wins any more than 10 to 20 bucks. I've never just never been nothing. Doesn't do it for me. But there's this restaurant I went to the other day, Bucky. I don't think you have it in USA. It's called Harvey's. And I got this friggin' amazing poutine. Like, like a poutine. I know you guys have it in parts of USA, but it's not big. It's like created in Quebec. But it's basically, French fries, gravy, and curd cheese. I got one from Wendy's. Was it yesterday or the day before? Well, it doesn't matter. And it had French fries, the gravy, and the poutine, chunks of curd cheese, and it also had chunks of spicy buffalo like nuggets, about this big. They had about probably about 8 of them in it. It was really good. I should have did a video. Frig was that good. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty Canadian Harvey's. Well, yeah, where you like you get your burger, and then when you go to the next part, it's like has this display glass window, and then they put on any toppings you want, and all the toppings are free. But you got to pay for your burger. Burger's like $7 or whatever, but you can put anything you want on it. Never heard of that. I don't think we have that. If we do, see, I live in a town, but I do know what goes on in the bigger cities near me, and I've never heard of that. I've never seen a commercial even on YouTube. Jolie Beers. Bin Jolie Beers or whatever. I don't know, man. No idea what you're talking about. I used to see a long time ago these commercials for Sonic. I don't know. We have Sonic. It's not near me, but they used to have some pretty cool commercials for food for Sonic. No, no, don't. If we do, it ain't near me. It has to be in Toronto or Montreal, but I doubt it. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. You know what? If I was ever down your way, there's one thing I definitely would do would be hitting Mexican restaurants. You know, man, that'd be great getting like down south where you are, getting like tacos and burritos and shit. Man, I bet you guys got some good ones. I like to make homemade ones, but man, where you live, man, yeah, those two guys always in the car. Yeah, I've seen those two because we have like like American Channel, watching a TV show or a movie. Then you get the American the American ads when you see Sonics, you know, and you'd be like, Sonics? Where the hell Sonics? Yeah, I used to have those two guys in the car all the time. I didn't even know what it was. I still don't really know what it is. It almost seems like a place where you can get gas, like a convenience store. You can get gas and they got food. Right back. I have a question for you. Where you live, make sure you're still there. Where you live, are there tarantulas? Like, do you have like tarantulas in your house and shit like that, or could find one in your garage? Did shit like that ever happen, or not where you are? Or, I just know you're down south and desert kind of like area, and oh yeah, and the scorpions. Yeah, too freaking cold for that here. We don't have big spiders. We don't have no insects here that can like poison you and die unless you're allergic. You know, you got people allergic to bees and shit. Scorpion in the garage, imagine that. Yeah, yeah. I've seen some videos like years ago. I mean, years ago on YouTube, where people that lived in certain areas where they gotta like you gotta check your shoes every single day. Like check your shoe, make sure there's no scorpion in it. It was in the States. It wasn't Mexico or anything like that. I can't remember where it was. It was a really long time ago. I think it was before I even met you. A really long time ago. Yeah, the biggest thing I'd ever find in my garage would be maybe a raccoon, and he wouldn't be in there too long because there's no food in there. I don't know. Could get a bear or a wolf, but they don't come around if they smell dog piss. And I got lots of dog piss on the lawn, I'm sure. They don't come around. Arizona. My dad, a long time ago, when I remember, I think I was like a teenager. Back when he was an engineer, right, for this place called Northern Telecom. He had to go down to Arizona for a job for 2 weeks or something, right? And he went and visited the Tombstone, Arizona, and all that shit. And he thought it was pretty cool. And he said that the one thing that he never forgot about Arizona, it was like it was really hot, but it was dry heat. See, where I live, we get humid heat in the summer. Not always, but pretty much we get like about 2 weeks of this like humidity, and it's because of the Great Lakes. And it's if you don't have air conditioning, fuck man, I'd hate to be some poor bastard living in an apartment building on the top floor with no air conditioning. It's fucking pretty hot in the house. And where I live, it's like out in like country wise, and you got lots of air blowing and lots of breeze. And if I didn't have an air conditioner in the house, it'd be fucking just like hell. But yeah, dry heat. I wish we had the dry heat. We get that humid stuff, man. That's a whole new ball game. Just miserable. I don't know how anybody can live in those fucking jungles like the Amazon. The humidity in those jungles. Who wouldn't even want to visit it? Not even talking about the bugs or predators or any of that stuff. Just the humidity would be your enemy. What does Jeremy like on his pizza? See, if I was to get a pizza and it was free and somebody was to buy it for me and they're like, hey, I'll buy you a free pizza. I don't think there's anything you could put on it that I wouldn't like, except for I would prefer not pineapple, but I can handle it. I don't like anchovies, but nobody hardly ever orders anchovies. Hold on here, let me read you right here. Yeah, that Champions of the Galaxy, man. There was one time in life, I'll tell you, holy God, did I ever play that? My friend and I would play that from 9 o'clock a Saturday afternoon, or sorry, Saturday. I'd go over his place at about 9 in the morning, and they were my cards. They weren't his. We'd play till like 11 o'clock at night. Just play, play, play. That was back on just the original set, not even counting the second one that came out, the expansion. Yeah, cheese and pepperoni, extra cheese and pepperoni. Excuse me. Jeremy and I would get along because you know why? I've been thinking about mixing up a pizza, but I don't know when because I go in these phases where I like certain things on a pizza, and I'll eat it for about a fucking year. Pardon my Irish, and then I'll change. For example, what I've been eating for about a year is pepperoni, bacon, and green olives. But to get back to what you just said about Jeremy, uh, pretty close to what he said. I've been thinking about switching it up, but what pepperoni, extra cheese. Okay, I'm with you, Jeremy. But what I want to do is double pepperoni and everything Jeremy said. The only difference is I want to double the pepperoni. I want it underneath the cheese and I want it on top of the cheese. And I want double cheese. Is there a good pizzeria where you guys live, or where you got a good place where you and your family order from? Is there a good place? For me, it's called Mamma Mia's. God, we got La Pizzeria, Mamma Mia's, Bubba's. No, I'm a small area too, a small town, like less than 20,000, I think. But anyway, we got Bubba's, Mamma Mia's, La Pizzeria, Little Caesars, Domino's, Pizza Hut, and this one called Big D's or whatever. But their pizza's like really weird. They're not even a pizzeria. That's not. But let's just say your mom orders a pizza without you guys knowing. Where's it coming from? That's my kind of what I mean. Like, where do you guys? Where's your? Do you have a number one or are you random? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I've had. We have a new one that opened here in the last year. I've had Little Caesars maybe three times. The dog's not really huge on the crust, which is weird. Like the dog loves the crust, and there's been a couple times where she left a couple pieces of crust, and I end up throwing them in the fireplace, which is weird. But I got one about a month ago, and it was the thin crust double pepperoni, and it was good, and I enjoyed it. But the problem was it was so thin, right? Don't get me wrong, I love thin crust. It was so thin. I ate the entire fucking medium minus two slices to the dog, and I was still hungry, man. I was like, I could have ate another one, easy, easy. I could have ate another one. It was just like eating sauce and pepperoni and cheese and just a hard little crispy fall apart slice of bread. Yeah. Um. The only thing I don't like about Domino's and Pizza Hut is I don't like they have this like spray can and of garlics or whatever, and they spray the pizza after it comes out of the oven. If they didn't spray it, I probably would have a better attitude. See, my sister used to work at this is way back in the '90s when she was young. My sister used to work at Pizza Hut. They used to give me lots of free pizza, and I loved it. But I asked her, "What is that greasy?" And I know pizza, you that natural greasy bacon taste. But this was different. I was like, "What the hell is this?" And she told me, "Oh, they spray it with this can of stuff." And I was like, "Well, next time you bring me home a pizza, don't fucking spray it." And without the spray, it's so much better. So much better. That's for me, at least. Some people are hooked on that spray. But Little Caesars, I forgot during the winter, last winter, they had this walk-in special. 3 items for like a large 3 items, yeah, 3 items large, and it was like 11, $12. I got a couple of those. It wasn't like the thin crust; it was like normal, and it was all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I worked at a pizzeria when I was a teenager, into my early 20s. It wasn't pizza or nothing. It was like a mom pause. Where you the best pizzas always come from those like old Greek and Italian ones. Like they own the store for 30 years. They use all good ingredients. See, like those places, like like Pizza Hut and all those places, like Domino's and Little Caesars. You know, I don't know how much of that's fresh, but a lot of it's like coming off a fucking truck. So those Mamma Mia places, those small town ones, they get their ingredients local. You pay a couple extra bucks, you don't get like a $8 pizza. Like when I get a small, it's like $17 Canadian, man, for 3 items. That's total, taxes included. 17 bucks. If I was to get that same pizza at like Domino's or Little Caesars, it'd probably cost 10 or $12. Fuck yeah, I sure like pizza, man. I have since my early memories of being alive is playing ice hockey and eating pizza, like 2, 3 years old. Oh, are you? Well, hang on. I'm going to tell you something. I haven't been to a movie theater since the 90s. No shit. But hang on. We want to tell you something. That's going to change at the end of this month. Myself, my two sisters, and my dad. At the end of the month, I think it's like November 24th. Somewhere like that. Sorry, man. Put too much in that one. We're gonna go see Napoleon. Ridley. Ridley Scott. Napoleon. I'm a big Napoleon guy. See, I'm really huge on history. It's one of those, you know, everybody has their thing. I love history. I want to see this movie really bad. I asked my family, "You gonna come? You want to come with me? I'm going myself." And they're all like, "Yeah, yeah." Well, that sounds like a good movie. And plus Ridley Scott, so good director. He's the one that did Gladiator. I never seen Gladiator in a theater. I bet you that would have been pretty cool. Iron Claw. No, I won't be seeing that one. Napoleon, the end of November. It's my big movie thing. God, I haven't been to the movies in almost 30 years. My God. It's because movies haven't been for me. Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for Napoleon? Wow. Man, wow. It's like hardcore. You definitely got to see the trailer on YouTube if you haven't seen it before. It's fucking amazing. Oh, yeah, right on. Is Jeremy right into that too? He's going to go watch that with you, or you're just into it? Or does Jeremy want to see it too? But like I was saying before, man, where you live, I bet you you could get a really awesome burrito or a taco, hard or soft shell. I like making my own. I don't make the shells. I just buy them in the grocery store, but the rest stuff you put together. I do like making tacos. And I do like making burritos too. Right on. The Von Erichs, they were pretty cool, eh? Lots of tragedy. Lots of tragedy, but man, that was the one. Eric? Eric? Was it Eric? I don't know. One, man, was he ever muscular? Beyond muscular. I remember where I lived, we only got to see the WWF. They didn't have the AWA. Well, when we buy those magazines, it was like Kerry, that was his name, Kerry Von Erich. They always had not. Why did I say Eric? Kerry. They always had. He was like the champion all the time. He had like this massively super wicked body. Eric Von fucking yeah, it was Kerry. Yeah, I bet you got some good taco burrito places. If you were to come here, right? Let's just say you're here right now, you and Jeremy, definitely, definitely have to have you guys eat poutine from Canada. Because I know that no matter where you go in the States, it's not going to be the same as here. And you'd have to see a live hockey game, man, in Canada. Because the way the crowd is, the crowd's like, you can you can see a small hockey game and the crowd's just screaming, kill him. They're really hardcore. Yeah, Kerry. And he was the one that got all fucked up, wasn't it? And yeah. Man, he was pretty popular when I was young. Maybe about when I was about 12, 15 years old in that age. He was all over the books for Texas and stuff. I think he was a Texas guy or whatever. Won a lot of belts in Texas or shit, or else he fought in that circuit. Gotta remember, I'm trying to remember fucking like 40 years ago. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Yeah, well, They would be pretty easy to make it out at your house if you have a deep fryer. Just deep fry up some French fries, and if you have a store that sells curd, we have. I don't know how it is in the States, but we everywhere we have curd. Just buy a little bag of curd, put it on top of the French fries, pour a can of hot gravy on top, and there you go. Carrie, I thought you said Kenny lost a leg. It was a Carrie lost a leg. Yeah, poor Carrie. Yeah, I'm sure Jeremy would enjoy a hockey game. You probably would too. Yeah, hockey games. Mostly, you can get some games that are just amazing. You got like fights going on and lots of goals and yeah. I don't know every single Von Erich. I know there's a whole bunch of them. And like I said, if I remember from that book, that magazine, I used to get it every month, and it'd have all that AWA and the Southern states, and it'd show you all the rankings and who the champion was, and you always seen Kerry Von Erich. Yeah, I wish I still had those books. If I did, honest to God, I would put them all in a gift box and that I would have for you and just give them to you. Yeah, man, I used to get one used to come out every other month in Canada. I probably had at least 30 of them. Except for I took out the posters of people I like because they always had a couple posters inside. And most of the posters were AWA, so I left them in the book. Because back then I didn't know Ric Flair and I didn't like him or know him. So I didn't see him on TV until years later. Because all I ever saw was Maple Leaf Wrestling, Calgary Wrestling, and WWF Wrestling. We didn't get any of that really cool fucking American stuff that you got to see. Oh, I get when it comes to hockey, I can when it comes to my team, I can get pretty freaking snappy and ugly and happy and I can turn into a monster. I can turn into an angel all over a stupid fucking team. I seen them win the cup, right? When I was a little kid, twice, back to back, the whole championship. And I was hooked on them. And then they never won it again. They've been in the finals, I think, like 6, 7 times. Never won again. That really sucks. Mostly during the 80s and 90s, they were always going to the Stanley Cup final, you know? And they fucking lose against Gretzky or whatever. Always Gretzky. Goddamn Gretzky. Speaking of Gretzky, man, I'll show you something that's worth about almost $2,000. Wayne Gretzky's rookie card. I had somebody told me it was worth $2,500 last summer, and he was a comic store dude, and he offered me $1,700 to take it, and he said he would sell it for about 2,500. I said to him no. When he gave me his phone number, I have his little card and stuff, but I'm gonna give it to You might hand it down to the family because one day that card will be worth, in about 100 years, it'll probably be worth like fucking almost $1 million. Mostly when Wayne Gretzky dies, he's still alive, and the damn thing's worth like over $2,000 if it's in good condition. Did you? Mad Dog Vachon. No, I never hung him up because I didn't. I told you if they weren't in the WWF, right, or Maple Leaf Wrestling, or Calgary Stampede, I didn't know them, right? So they'd have a picture of even Abdullah. Remember Abdullah the Butcher? They have a picture of him covered in blood. He'd be probably one of the only guys I would hang up on my wall. I didn't even know who he was. He just looked cool. But everybody else, no, unless they had the Macho Man in there for WWF. Macho Man always went on the wall, and Hart Foundation and Hogan, Kamala. You know, there was quite a few of them, mostly villains, the bad guys. I didn't like the Goon. No, I thought the Goon was stupid. I remember him. Yeah, he didn't last long, did he? No, I thought the Goon was stupid. How old would I have been when the Goon came out? Was I still a teenager? I can't remember if I was like about 12 or if I was like 21. Can't remember. I'm gonna look it up right now when the Goon came out. Goon. WWF. Bill Irwin. He was the Goon in Holy shit, was that 96? Wait, hang on here, let me look. Holy shit, I would have been like in my 20s. Almost mid 20s. Huh. I thought he was around a little earlier. Yeah, I didn't like the Goon. And same with, there was lots of Canadian stuff in WWF. I didn't like any of it. I didn't like any of the Canadian guys. None. And when they're waving around that, the Quebecois or whatever, remember they won the tag team belt for a bit. Quebecers or whatever. I fucking hated them. And so did most of Canada. I don't remember anybody liking the Quebecers. Fuck, they were annoying. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about, but I think they were called the Quebecers. I'm sure they won the belt once. But what a drop the ball by Vince McMahon to even have them. But there was this time where Vince McMahon really got into having country versus country. So he wanted the Americans. He wanted the Americans to be the freedom fighters, and Canadians were an annoyance. So they would fight the Canadian guys and usually win. And then they would have like the true American villains, where the Americans would fight and usually beat the Russians and the Iranians, like the Sheik and anything to do with Russia. There was lots of Russians in wrestling as heels. But you couldn't, it's not the same now. You can't have a Russian now being it. You won't get the same impact as a heel. It's like wrestling's I guess, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, once like Rock and Stone Cold were kind of like gone, that was kind of like the end of wrestling for the WWF. Yeah, the Quebecers. I forget their names, but it doesn't matter. Another one I didn't like, a tag team I couldn't fucking stand, was the Sheep Herders. They'd come out, I didn't like that. I didn't like the sheep herders coming out. That we, you know, come out. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, I didn't like them at all. Another one I didn't like was for a villain. There's lots of villains I didn't like, and I always cheered for the villains. I didn't like One Man Gang. I thought he looked stupid. I didn't like his wrestling. I didn't like his way he moved around. Another one I didn't like was Bam Bam Bigelow. Didn't like him either. Um, Another one I didn't like until I got older. Right, just this last couple of years, I hated Dusty Rhodes until his last couple of years. But understand, I wasn't exposed to Dusty Rhodes because he was AWA, NWA, and we never got that on TV. So I didn't get to see Dusty Rhodes until he was like pretty much retired. But man, he was always, yeah. I'd buy one of those wrestling magazines, like I'd tell you and get all excited. Dusty Road poster. Buy the one the next month. Dusty Road poster. Ah, fuck off. And then maybe once or twice in the year you get something good, like the Road Warriors or Macho Man or Hogan or Heart Foundation. But holy frig, was there a lot of Dusty Road posters. And to me, he just looked like this fat 40-year-old man. And I'm like 10, 12 years old. Yeah, there was lots of cowboys. The one I guess I would remember would be Bob Orton, I guess, for cowboys. Wasn't he Rowdy Piper's bodyguard on the Piper Pit, or was that somebody else? You'd know, because you're really fucking wickedly smart on this shit. Was that who bought when Roddy Piper was doing Piper's Pit? Remember he had the bodyguard? Was that Bob Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton? Was that his bodyguard for Piper's Pit? I didn't like One Man Gang. But back to what I said, I know you're going to type it. Was that Bob Orton? That was Roddy Piper's bodyguard for when Roddy Piper used to have the Piper's Pit? I can look it up, but I don't feel like typing right now because I know you'd know the answer. I'm sure it was Cowboy Bob Orton was Roddy Piper's bodyguard at the beginning or middle or end or all of it. I can't remember. Fuck, I used to like Piper's Pit too, though. My one friend always cheered for nothing but the good guys. He was so annoying. But we used to watch wrestling together all the time. I cheered for the bad guys. He'd cheer for the good guys. He fucking hated Piper's Pit. I remember that. And he was like, totally didn't understand and about the Macho Man. I told him Macho Man's so fucking awesome. He hated the Macho Man. And then when Macho Man became good, then he liked Macho Man. I'm like, dude, you missed the prime years and the best of the Macho Man. He's like, no, he's with Hogan. He's in his prime now. I said, nah, he's a different Macho Man now. The Macho Man that everybody knows and loves was the one that was a jerk to Elizabeth and the one that had the Intercontinental Championship. Elizabeth, down that aisle. Yeah, Bob Orton. I was right. Yeah, that's like I said. I always remember him as the cowboy. He had the hat on all the time, and if things got out of hand, Roddy Piper would like back up towards Big Bob Orton, and Bob Orton would take care of things. Unless Andre was there. That was one of the best things was Piper's Pit. Remember where they used to have that one with Paul Bear? He had his own little show on the WWF, like the Piper's Pit. He had his own. They always tried to capture the magic and try to do things better, but nothing was better than Piper's Pit. I don't give a shit about that Paul Bear, and he had that little show and Undertaker coming out. That was like routine. It was like the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It was the same thing. You knew it was gonna happen. Out comes the Undertaker, But Piper's Pit was fucking random, man. It was like so random, and it was better entertainment. You know that yourself than anything else. Oh, Mr. Wonderful. That's one of my back in the 80s. He's probably my number one or number two favorite. I hated when he lost to Hogan, and I hated even more. They built this great big story up, and it was awesome. You know how it goes. They were enemies, friends, popularity, and then Orndorff turns on him with the clothesline, and then they have the couple matches for the belt, and then bang, Orndorff's gone. Like, I mean, gone. Where's Paul Orndorff? He's not, he's gone. The worst mistake the WWF, and I am saying the worst mistake back then the WWF ever made was getting rid of Orndorff. They should have had him and Hogan back and forth with that belt. Orndorff had the body better than Hogan. They both look like the California Beach Boy that Vince McMahon loved. One's a Beach Boy heel, one's a Beach Boy looking baby face. And what a waste. What a fucking waste. Those guys should have been trading the belt back and forth. And I looked up to see if there was any bad blood with Vince McMahon and Paul Orndorff years ago because wanted to know, like, why did Orndorff just drop off? And no, there was no bad blood. And Orndorff said that Vince McMahon had told him that he had plans to make Orndorff the champion over Hogan. And it never happened. And Orndorff said, like, one day him and Hogan are at the top of the prime and they're fighting each other. And then he's like, the next day, he has no work. He doesn't understand what happened. You can watch yourself. He doesn't know why Vince fucked him. Yeah, he's a legend, all right. But man, let me tell you, like, I know you weren't there in the prime of that time. Like when I was like a kid, Orndorff and Hogan were huge. I mean, huge. That should have went on to a WrestleMania. It really, 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 really should have went on to a WrestleMania. But you know how Vince is. Well, how he was at least. He could just change his mind, and next thing you know, he could see something on TV, and he thinks it's popular, and I'm gonna make my champion like that, and then bang, change things. Yeah, that's too bad. Orndorff should have been champion at least once, and Hogan take it back, and then Hogan could have ran with it. That's what I thought was going to happen back when I was a kid. I thought Orndorff was going to at least win the belt, maybe dirty, might be dirty, maybe Paul Heenan or somebody or whatever, something, and Hogan would lose the belt. Orndorff would have it for about a year, and then Hogan would take it back to the next WrestleMania. That's what I thought they should have did. But they didn't. They went on to one of the most selfish, shitty wrestlers that had no fucking talent. Vince McMahon got a great big hard on for fucking Ultimate Warrior. Vince regretted it. Nobody ever liked working with him, but the Ultimate Warrior stole what should have been Paul Orndorff. It should have been Hogan and Orndorff, not Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, man. I remember my friend just loved him. The same friend that likes good guys. And I said, and I was just a kid, right? You don't know real and stuff. And I said, Ultimate Warrior doesn't even have any talent. He just bounces out the ropes. He's like, yeah, but he's like fucking huge. Like, whatever. Mr. Wonderful, though, man, he could wrestle, man. That's the thing. Mr. Wonderful could do wrestle, like the guys could wrestle. Ultimate Warrior just bounced off the ropes, and jumped around, and clothesline, body slam, body press. Simple routine stuff that you would know in high school. Yeah, man, I'm gonna let you go too. Like I said, I was gonna order a pizza. I'm actually gonna end the stream right now. You have a good one, and I'm gonna go get a pizza. See you later, dude.